with the chicken strips. I know what I forgot to do. Ba-da-dum. Ba-da-da-dum. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Step one, rinse brush. Step one is add thinner to all chimera paints. Ba-da-da-da. Brush acquired. Mm. Good evening, Helgrat. How are you? How fare you? Thank you very much, Solitaire. Can we not be there? You look scared of stuff. You seem to be scared of my Fitbit. To be fair, it is a scary thing. But, as someone pointed out, it's you know, it's the grown-up Tamagotchi, and the thing that's trying to keep alive is the idiot that's wearing it. Yay! Stream later this evening. That's excellent, Helgrat. I won't be able to catch it, unfortunately. Hello. Can I help you? Hmm? Ooh, hollowing out that section of the Thunderhawk. Hmm? Can we help you? Do you feel that you've been wronged? You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Can I have my desk back now? Hmm? Hmm? I'd like to paint again. Can I start painting again? Okay. What's up? Well, you have to make up your mind on where you want to go. But oop. Hmm. What you gonna work on tonight, Helgrat? Mm. Oh, for staying frame nights, I might work on this bust. That green stuff did a really good job. Like you can't really tell what I did. That one was from ReaperCon. I don't know who crafted it. And if it isn't my favorite artist, King Dixon Balls, how you doing, sweetheart? Have you come to tell us and regale us with the epic tales of long tails and fuzzy paws? Have you considered abandoning all hope for our Lord and Savior, Kitty? What was for dinner? What did you scarf? I was scarfing the leftover tickles. Oh, you had the girl dinner. To be fair, King, I'm kind of waiting for the weather to turn a little bit for me so I can make a meatloaf. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. I mean, to be fair, charcuterie boards are meant to be poor food. I need to look up that bean recipe as well. I'm really craving like a cozy, easy meal um, for myself. Like I need to get a new food rotation going, and I need to work on something new. I mean, pizza could technically be a charcuterie board. including the board. Exactly. I mean, you're old enough to. I don't know if it happened in Canada, or maybe it was just the areas that I grew up in. Um, when Little Caesars came onto the scene, well, I'm gonna have to preface a lot of this. Hold on. Let me take a sip of tea. Uh, so back in the day, when Little Caesars was a brand new pizza range for us here in the States, it felt like every 90s party at the time ordered this big 24 slice pizza. And I mean this massive in the paper pizza. Oh, it no joke was every bit of about 3 to 4 feet long. Um, and for kids, it was great because they didn't care, right? When we're kids, we don't genuinely care too much about where the food comes from. We just kind of eat it. Uh, this was long. Like it was a long pizza. But it seemed to be more of a poor thing than it was a rite of passage. And I remember the old commercials for these pizzas. Um, but it was great for like parties. Yeah, it was a rectangles. They were rectangles. All right, so it's a very red brown. So I need to make it unready brown. Super red or violet. Just a hint of black. Uh, but you saying that reminded me of the pizza back in the days because it was a relatively inexpensive meal to serve kids at like a birthday party or something. It's what we all chose to eat because, we thought it was cool. And it was relatively easy to get it to like the skating rink. Now I feel tempted to go find a photo of it really quick. I have another story on that one. I have another story on that one. 1 second. All right. So, what feels like 100 years ago now, I had a partner. They had just bought a brand new car. They'd never realized how to lock the doors, and we were kind of in between and on a break a little bit. So they make a walk over to my place after they lock their keys in the car at Publix. Or not Publix, the gas station. Um, so, they walk to my house. And I have to go, then drive them back to pick their car up because we called a locksmith to pop the lock really quick. After they leave it, literally at a bay for the gas pump. Just left it there. Sat there for like half an hour. Nobody towed it away. I'm like, oh my God. Are you serious? Um, so I drive them back. Locksmith comes, pops the lock, gets the vehicle open, and says, "Oh, smells like you guys got dinner." She had stopped and got a hot and ready pizza that had just been sitting in the car. We're like, yeah, I'd randomly just stop and get a hot and ready pizza from uh, Little Caesars. And one of our mutual friends at the time goes, they don't even use real cheese on their pizza. That is only facts, no printers. American cheese is real cheese. It's just not aged cheddar. That's the only difference between American and cheddar cheese. It's just a very young cheddar. Because I mean, Velveeta makes was making the cheese for a long time, and the reason why you get like such better cheese pulls with mozzarella and American cheese, but never with cheddar, is because of the age of the cheese. Mozzarellas and younger type cheeses keep their elasticity, and that's essentially what you're drawing out when you make a cheddar. I watched a very extensive grilled cheese. Cheese whiz is what you're thinking of, sir. You are correct. That is not real cheese. That is what you call stop the toilet eventually. I My secondary passion is cooking, so I tend to watch a lot of cooking videos. And Binging with Babish, a cook that I really respect, on YouTube, was doing a grilled cheese special and talking about all the different types of grilled cheese and how to make them and how to best prepare them, the arguments of the butter and mayonnaise on the bread, like how to make the cheese to get the delectable, amazing cheese pull. Even made a rainbow cheese pull. So you had to essentially reconstitute cheeses. So that's why the best grilled cheeses tend to have American, Gruyere, and a mozzarella of some kind, or like a pepper jack or something along those lines, because they're small and simple, or they're soft, kind of deal. Hence how I learned of what cheddar American the difference between American and cheddar is. But you're right. The cheese was kind. It can be a little sketchy. And by a little sketchy, I mean a lot of sketchy. I don't know if I'd go near that. But yes, King has the best of note. Facts, only facts, no printers. Uh, what? Them, sir, are fighting words. Be careful which American you tell that to, because woo, doggy, you may spark a war. I hate mustard. I don't care. I am not a fan of mustard. I use yellow mustard when I'm smoking meats sometimes as a binder for meat. It's a great way to create penetration and help create tenderized meat for longer cooks. But I've been switching over to uh, hot sauce and making it the spices. I mm, mm, I prefer ketchup over mustard. And if I have to die on that hill, King, so be it. I give my life to Snoo Snoo. Don't you dare. I would not like it stronger than wasabi, but then again, I'm not a huge wasabi fan, to be honest with you. Nope. I see you over there calculating, sweetie. Please stop. Patra, be careful. Careful, my love. No, we're not doing this right now. No, no, you're definitely not biting on those. You're getting off the desk. Mm. She cannot pick her lane right now. I tried to get her to be chill. She refuses. Like she just doesn't want to be relaxed today. It's like everything she's like, "Oh, excuse me, I'm choosing violence today." I'm like, "Are you serious?" And she's like, "Yes, father, I am serious." And, okay. Munch and munch and munch and munch. So I I was feeling the need to be super snacky at the grocery store when I went last time. So I bought a box of Oreos. They come in little individually wrapped packages. So you could have like one or two packages and you get like four Oreos and you feel good. I understand your wants. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty blue. I'm liking where we're going with this blue. been drinking tea. I started doing a blueberry elderberry, a blueberry hibiscus tea, which has been really good. Just I need to consider learning how to make my own freaking tea. Oh my god. I need to find a bulk bar. That's what I need to find. I don't have one of those near me. Or I don't know where one's at yet. So right now I'm buying a tea from Amazon, which is like stupid expensive, in my opinion. Now for a loose leaf tea, it could be correct for the States. So I'm using Tiesta tea. 1 pound is about $40, or 16 ounces is about $40. Um, elderberry, blueberry, and hibiscus. Some other things mixed. Tiesta, Tie. Hold on. Give me a second. It's the blueberry wild cherry, wild child. It's good. It's just it's one of those that feels that's a little bit overpriced. I just realized I copied the wrong second king. I'm sorry. Yeah, but the thing is that hibiscus can be relatively cheap to find, and you can buy it. You can buy like a pound of hibiscus for $40, maybe. I'm not sure. You can buy a lot of it and get the ratios the way that you want it. Um, it's just my brain says this could be a little bit more expensive than it actually is, and I don't like that. So there's a part of me wondering if it would just be easier to make my own blend and just get the ingredients like you are. Like you find a tea barn and you get all your ingredients and you make up your tea as you want. You can kind of understand what you're getting out of it. Um, I just have not gone looking yet. Yep. Yeah, Hellgrat. I put it in a big old mason jar and let it steep during the day. So like in the morning I'll put 8 tablespoons or 9 tablespoons in like this big old mason jar and let it steep all morning or all day until dinner time. And that's the thing that I have with dinner. Kind of helps keep me full. And it's an antioxidant as well, so it's kind of nice. But sometimes it can be really strong because you might get more hibiscus than you realized. It can be really tart, but it's delicious. You don't want to know what I pay for my coffee. You thought I was making it up, Helgra. The British, they really like their tea, but every Brit that I know doesn't like drinking tea, so they have issues with cuppas. Hey, Wall Trooper. How you doing? How fares the Gundam builds? Hmm. But yeah, so the price of tea may be a bit expensive at the moment. Son of a biscuit. Have you considered picking the internet? I'm just extravagant. Hey, I am a fancy, fancy, fancy painter. Okay? But you are not wrong. If I was buying tea from the grocery store, it'd be much, much cheaper. I was just, you know, experimenting with something that wasn't Southern sweet tea or Louisiana sweet tea. But you been busy? Yeah. To be fair, you're not wrong, Abel. But then you go to buy online and you're like, this seems more expensive than it's supposed to. And they're like, but no, it's not. I'm like, but it really does feel that way. Someone goes, but it isn't. I'm like, but it is. I mean, Bezos has got to pay the Yakuza somehow. Uh, AWOL, I just want to point out, you start bringing up digital Yakuza, and we got none other than Yaddy. The digital Yapsu. He brings the Aussie Legion with him. They try to talk about didgeridoos and all of that, and someone's just standing in the corner going, please no. Yeah, but I'm going to stick with my current one, which is You Are the Yaddy. Esclavia. Ah, get the, get that good old olive drab going. That's the best way to do it. Paint some of that bold action. Hey, well, where you where are you painting Trench Crusade? I'm assuming it's yeah for bolt action. I don't remember you being a Trench Crusade painter yet. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to rethink that statement again. Ragin used my face last night, so I anointed him Yab 1 and Yabin 1. What do you mean? Everybody plays Trench Crusade. Well, I have seen one YouTube channel play Trench Crusade, AWOL. But you're correct. They're the only one I've seen play Trench Crusade. Uh, 40K meets World War II, but World War II went on too long. Or is it World War One? One of the two. So essentially, you have World War 40K and Demons. Oh, it's World War One. Um, a lot of people do paint Trench Crusade. It's just it's like yeah, painting Hero Quest. We all know what it is, but yeah, you can't get Trench Crusade models easily, and then you have to be mindful about what models you are getting because some models are very body horror centric. Um, and I'm not a huge body horror fan, so yeah, they're all just STLs. There's no physical miniature for it. Um, well, I say that Eons of Battle is doing physical cells for their terrain. Um, Bombshell miniatures sold some as well. But the problem is that everybody's like, well, I can just print the STL. Why do I want to buy it from you? But then the STL kind of hangs out in the background. Your most controversial opinion is you don't like the aesthetic of Trench Crusade. I don't mind the aesthetic of Trench Crusade. I mind the body horror. That's the only thing that bothers me. I like some of the actual how it looks. I'm just not a huge. I have enough issues in my head as it is, and I'm not a body horror fan. So there's some factions that I would paint if I wanted to paint Trench Crusade. I just don't. I have to like sift through all of them to figure out which ones it is I want to paint, kind of deal. Um, yeah, because I mean, is that the one with the Trench Crusade priest? No, that's not the Trench priest. That's the one with all the arrows, right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's to each their own and how they want to be, but that did make me a bit of a funny. I mean, rust and gore can be super bright. Red, orange, all those colors. Oh yeah, beautiful. I like paint. Yeah, we know you like painting doors. You don't have to. Like, you don't have to paint anything the way that someone says to. It's just, you know, it's one of those things. You're not all the way wrong with that, Auntie. The idea of kingdom death, though, it depends on the figure. It's a lot easier to find something not body horror centric. I mean, the couple of times I've looked, but then again, I was looking at the pinups. I mean, we have models with penises in them from Reaper, so. I, I mean, there was a time that Mark UK was in here. He's like, "What about X Hamster?" I'm like, "There was a website that existed. Is it still around?" He's like, You were supposed to be embarrassed." I'm like, "I'd be embarrassed by it." Just buy some from Raging. He needs some money. But I mean, if you painted them in My Little Pony, it would be amazing. Have all of your commanders with their little cutie marks. They probably were looking around. They looking at what Black Child or Big, not Big Child, Broken Anvil did. In Blacklist, because they Broken Anvil at one point invested in Siocast to try to bring production costs down, but they screwed up so many things. Oh my god, they screwed up so many things. Yes, Bones USA is primarily Siocast as well. All right, so I want to graze. I want to graze. Um, some USA's 3D print and some is Siocast. It depends on what it is. There you, yeah. It's some isn't intermixed. Hi, is there something you need, sweetie? A lot. It depends on what it was. Um, Honestly, whether or not it would be Siocast or 3D print. I'm pretty sure that this guy from Bone Six was Siocast. The plastic was very different. It could have been a 3D print as well, but I remember Ed talking about it back in the day quite a bit about why they wanted to go with the Siocast system so they could try to bring production back because they could. The idea being that they could retake their Bones Ones models that they lost the master molds to, remold them in Siocast, and re-inject them, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it is. It's much better. I still have some. Technically, the Fungal Mancer that we got, some of them, some of the ones we got at ReaperCon were still plastic. Actually, one of the ladies that we got in that setting mood with color tone class, that was one of those was Sio. Um, but the other one was really old PVC. Hi, how are you? Is there something you want right now? Hmm? Hmm? Love you. Who was painting that one? Jesse Evans? Oh, mine was with Jesse. She did the comic book style Dagon, and she liked to do the chibi paintings. All right. I'm not going to let you be comfortable there for all night. You get a couple more minutes and then I'm going to boot you again. Uh, did you get the one with like the big eye and the chibi? No, the chibi's over here. I thought I lost it. Sweet Christmas. Uh, so that's the one that Jesse Evans gave to us to paint, to learn to paint eyes on. And you can kind of see. If, stop, stop, stop. Kind of how that looks. I had the chibi bat. That she taught us with. And I gave it to her, and I'm like, this looks like crap. She goes, you nailed it. I'm like, really? Because what she was saying is that you had to get those dots in the same spot. I just feel like they're off. And she's like, nope, it's right. I'm like, okay. So I tried to do the same thing with that eye. And I tried to do the same thing with the individual dots. Calm down. I thought I had lost that chibi, and I forgot that I put it in the done category. Hi. Okay. Can I get back to painting now? Uh, Lane taught a little bit of painting eyes in his class. But when you're painting eyes on a bust, it's very different. Okay. You're getting off. Good evening, Enter. How are you? You're done. You're done. You're done. You're done. You're done. You're done. Over there. At some point, I need to paint this one. Or finish painting the eyes on this one. But that'll take a while. I have a lot. I'll need to flex it. I just kicked my cat off the desk, so we're gonna get back to painting Cirque again. Because I mean, I'll be honest with you on this guy, Auntie. I'll probably white and put a dot in the eye and call it a day. I could get in there, but man, that's a lot of work for what would be a little reward. So, hold on, Auntie. One of the things that I learned at ReaperCon that I've taken away from most, that I never thought about was. So, this was Bryce's discussion on how to paint eyes. Um, so, essentially, you have your oval for whatever you want, right? And then you're just like, in order to get your circles in there, kind of start with C's. Is one of the things that I took away from ReaperCon. That's it. That's what Bryce was trying to teach us in his class. Was do like a red brown rim. Don't do a black rim. Do black, and then whatever iris you want the color is going to be on the bottom side, and you brighten it up, and then you put your little specular white highlight in there. Like this guy, I don't know if he's going to get a specular highlight or a color in that eyeball for that matter. Ba-ba-da-ba. They were a teacher. They've taught several times, or they supposedly have been teachers. Uh, not all teachers are on Twitch. Probably. You can go find it yourself. Do not judge other people that are teaching at the convention unless you're teaching there too, please. Yeah, stream elements disconnected. Yay. Thank you, stream. I mean, it just depends on what it was sometimes. Honestly, Enterprise. I feel like if I wanted to take one of those extra academic busts on Bryce and Lane would have given me one. That was probably the only class that I was actually. There were two classes that I walked into that I shouldn't have walked into, but uh, the only one that I was kind of annoyed about with Lane and Bryce was their non-metallic metal and the directions of painting. That in that one room that just sucked. Oh, Michael Payne's Minis. That's the guy you're talking about. Two of the people that write in Miniature Monthly, or have published with Miniature Monthly, was teaching in Michael Payne's Minis. You can go look up the class schedule yourself, Enter, if you want to see who was teaching there. Yeah. Michael's good. I like Michael. Older bald guy with a beard. Yeah. He was teaching a non-metallic metal class, and he had like the Iron Golem or something like that, if I remember correctly. I can't remember which one he was using. Yeah, that was Michael. That was Michael Payne's Minis. I gave him a bag of grits. He's a pretty good. He's a good old bean. Because he actually started working for Reaper when he retired from the government. Fortunately, I wasn't able to meet the Van Patten's other contrast class because they moved the room without telling anybody. Then you had to like go find it on the website, and I was like, that's too much work. I'm going to bed. Yeah, it very much was expensive. 400 for a class. I don't know if I can pay that. 2 8-hour days is fine, but at the same time, our classes at Reaper were $30 a pop. No. That's what it was. Yeah, it'd be cool if Luca came out. I mean, they weren't that much dissimilar for Nova in terms of price. I mean, the Michael Proctor freehanding class was a lot of fun. No, they were all about the same. It just depends on, because I mean, the convention did supplement the payback somehow. I'm not pretty sure. They should. I mean, uh, that was one of the things that Bryce and Lane were talking about. and they kind of asked for the feedback on the um, they would talked about painting a full bust over the, like on Thursday, have like an 8 hour class for bust painting or painting faces and stuff like that. And letting people paint on that one singular thing. But apparently it was a pushback from Ron. So that's what they will hold it when they want to hold it. Now there's contracts in play for that, is why. Yeah. Depends. Antifreeze. Last time I was organizing cons, when you sign the contract, you sign a date. Sometimes the contracts move dates here and there, but for the most part, the date is set when you sign the contract. So they kind of signed a multi-year contract. Supposedly, according to Anne, the contract has been shifted, or the contract has been expired for that space that they used currently, which was a pretty nice place actually for a convention hotel. It wasn't bad. It wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't bad. The sorry. Uh, the challenges of, yeah. So I mean that was the problem that Gen Con and Adepticon had for the longest time, is they were suffocating their areas because they didn't have places to grow. Every time that they tried to grow, they had issues because they couldn't grow because they didn't have enough room. The problem is they had enough room. When they finally had enough room, they didn't have enough people attend. So that's kind of why they grew so slowly and painfully over the years, and why it moved from like Wisconsin to Chicago and Chicago back to Wisconsin, and now it's an Ohio sort of deal. It's because they were trying to find places that they could grow into. But because we had similar problems when I was running a professional convention for work. Do I have them turned on my side? I thought I had turned them off. I don't remember turning them on. Do you have subtitles turned on, Antifreeze? Because you're not the only one that has complained about it. I think some people have it set on and they don't realize it. Because that used to be what was causing me encoding issues, was having subtitles on with Chrome, and then I turned it off. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah. That's how you toggle them on it. AWOL? C? C for subtitles? But we'll see what they do next year. Oh, closed captions. Yeah, I don't see that one going over all that well. Your wet palette sponge? Oh, yeah, you probably need to wash that. You probably need to wash that. And then you're going to be taking off for my neck of the woods in a day? I thought you were flying it. I thought you were coming this way tomorrow. I You have a great lurk, Abel. Enjoy your olive drab. Also, I find it funny that you're painting olive drab as there was new MASH drama that was released today or within the recent days. Apparently, Alda came out to complain about some of the writing and things that they had to do on MASH. I'm like, why are you complaining about it now? Get over it. Leave the show alone. Let MASH mash. But they were talking about like Wayne Rogers. Apparently, it's been well known for a while that he would actually come back and talk about redoing scenes because he thought they could do them better. But yeah. I mean, MASH was kind of one of his defining series, so well, that's what I remember him from. Apparently, I did not read that in your message to me. No, I'm good for two. I'm good. Hold on. Let me write that down. Antifreeze in 2026. Nine. Oh. Out of the ReaperCon, there was 1,134 entries, 415 artists, and 100 of them were new. 30 judges altogether. Volunteer. Apparently, I do not know how to read. It's becoming a challenge for me. I need to put more water in my wet palette. Nom 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 nom. I have leftover tri-tip for tomorrow. Yay. Um, um, that's where the water came from last time. I was curious where it came from. Hmm. Oh shit, I forgot to update my screen. Yes, get not cool lifetime. Nope. Stay over there, please. All sense made. Yummy! New York style chopped cheese on the Blackstone. Oh, what is the name of that restaurant we ate at that had the Chicago food? Porcello's? Was that it? Or Porches? Me and Monster didn't. Porlitos. Okay. Me and Monster were talking about it a little bit. We were trying to remember the name. I was like, was it Porchik? No. Or like a cheesesteak. Whatever floats your boat, brother. Um, stupid. Good evening, Raging. How are you? You feeling any better? I saw your stream was a yaddy hot mess this morning, and I was like, I don't have the ability to stay for this. The app's talking about International Women's Day. It's probably best I don't know. And then Yaddy was in here earlier talking about how, you used his face last night and you're now Yab one. You're yabbing one. I'm doing all right. We're starting our Sir K tonight from Arthurian Legend. We got a blue tunic, leather based, starting the futs of the non metallic metals. How far will we get? Not too far. I do have to go to work tomorrow. I don't want to go to work tomorrow. I have to. Also, do you know anybody that actively plays Trench Crusade? That was a conversation earlier on stream. We were discussing about how many people actively play versus how many people paint, and we think more people paint than play. Okay. When you see AWOL next, let them know. You know, Hellgray, they did put a rebel base on Yavin 1. Hellgray, are you gonna? So, did you ever hear this joke about the fat guy in Star Wars? Not John Favreau. Mm, Smelgry, yeah, yeah. He does have a nice scent to him. Who the frack does that to a pauldron? You just got out of the shower, so you smell super fresh. You get that Old Spice? I mean, you see how clean my wet palette is, you must know how clean my shower is. Good evening, Cal. How are you? You doing well? You doing better now? I mean, we had Yabin one here, we got Yab here, we got Yabin one and Yaddy. We had Antifreeze talking about his cheesesteak that turned into be cheesesteak instead of a chopped cheese. No, we don't be weird on their stream. We only get weird about wet palettes. We only get weird about wet palettes. I would be concerned too. I share your concern. I think we know who it is. Starts with the Y, ends with a B. Nope, 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 no, 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 no. No, sir. Ba-da-da. Oh, crap. I gotta find a right target. Okay. I am glad that you're irritated, but you'll get over it. All right. Let's go see Muse's Touch. She's working on a Cloud Giant. Should be a great and amazing time. They're a lovely human being. I got to meet them at ReaperCon and they were a lot of fun to chat with. Thank you all for being here. Let's all go say hello to them.